Welcome to Sailing Out of Sight. We're Craig and Diane, and this is our stowaway Bonnie. Please remember to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Bottoms up. In this video, we will secure our boat for the possibility of the arrival of a storm. We fabricate and install new cabinet doors in the salon, upgrade our galley faucet, and discover replacing the aft faucet isn't going to be easy. This morning, the hurricane has hit Florida.
Hurricane Idalia now slamming Florida's Gulf Coast after rapidly intensifying into a major Category 4 storm overnight.
Flooding rain. Isolated 12-inch amounts from Tallahassee, Florida, all the way to Wilmington, Delaware, and that's why we have a flash flood risk, a moderate flood risk from Tallahassee all the way up to Wilmington.
They are expecting maybe we'll get some tropical storm force winds. We will get wind gusts. I don't think it'll be anything dangerous, but anyway, we are going to obviously put more ropes, tie the boat with some more ropes, and just secure her better here in the slip.
Like 10 apples.
Yeah, that was a swing and a miss.
Okay, so we've finished tying all the extra lines off. We've got the short spring line here going because we're so close there. The bow, we have 2 sets of ropes. At the front, we have a spring line over there, and on the back we have 2 spring lines on each side as well back here. So hopefully any kind of wind gust that comes will be good. Thankfully, this storm turned out to be just a lot of thunder and lightning.
One of the projects on our list is to redo our cabinets up here. These have roll-up doors. See how this, sometimes it works. Anyway, it slides back and forth. And therein lies the problem. The can fell over and got wedged in there, and then we couldn't even open it. And of course I lost my temper and beat it in with my hand, or with my fist, which was a bad idea. But it's gone now, and what we're going to do is try to fabricate some plastic, it's not plexiglass, it's polycarbonate acrylic. But yeah, we're going to try to fabricate some pieces to go in there. I ordered some sheets. They're big, they're just a little bit larger than that opening, and I'll have to cut them down with a saw and then sand the edges, and hopefully they'll look decent. But that's the next project on our list. Working on cutting out this plexiglass for our new door covers, and this is our workbench, picnic table / workbench. What we're using is this what I call a jigsaw, and we got a blade. It's for plexiglass, and it's doing a real good job. So I'll see if I can successfully cut one out for you. Well, that's it. I think one of the tricks that I found is that when you get close to the edge, you got to make sure you go really going slow all the time. Is good, but especially when you get close to the edge, because that's when they tend to break if you push it too hard.
The wood cube is for securing our latches. What you using?
Gorilla Super Glue, the gel version. It's 1 drop every square inch. They say too much is a bad thing.
Don't they say too much of anything is a bad thing?
Hold it for 10 to 45 seconds. See, it already won't move. Okay, we'll leave that there.
Now Craig measures for our hinge placements.
I gotta make sure I don't read my numbers backwards.
Craig drills holes for the hinges.
What you don't want to do is push hard, because then you can chip the other side out. So you just let it feed itself. Just the weight of the drill is enough. So now we can go back downstairs, mount the hinges, and then drill our holes into the side of the wood.
Okay. Craig's working on door number 2. Door number 1 is finished. You can see it over there in the corner. Those are the 2 tough ones because they have the, what are those things called?
Splits.
Well, I know. But where the chain plate things come down, then he has to do a little split because it can't open from the far side, so it's a split. We got to remove this paper. He's got 2 more doors, but they're full doors, so he's hoping those will be easier and quicker.
I promise they'll be easier. I can't promise they'll be quicker.
Craig got all of our doors put up. It was looking better till we got mess out again. We're making another mess. We are doing a few little upgrades, and one of them is putting in a new kitchen faucet. We've got the pressure tank off, we've got the water tank turned off, and I've got Craig under the sink.
Under the sink. This is going where this is right now. One of the reasons is to gain this additional height so that the sink's easier to work in. This little one here is it's too low. It's hard to, like, especially washing dishes or getting something under it to get water. It's too low for all of this. Everything's a tight space. These are the current connections coming down. So I need to take these loose and figure out how the best way to get on them is. Another convenient work position. We're gonna need the open-end wrenches. I'm gonna try to find the right wrench size, so
Okay.
I'm gonna need you to pick 3 wrenches. 9/16 is too small. 11/16 is too big, so a 10/16 or a 5/8.
And now we get to look through all of these. 5/8. Dee-dee.
There might be a shorter one in there.
5/8 shorty.
This probably hasn't been off since when the boat was built. I can get my hand on it if you can turn it enough to break it loose.
Now the water filter's in the way. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Put on there really tight.
So it's all loose. The problem is that this old style, it's got the compression nut, so the ferrule has got the nut captured. Both those nuts won't go through the mounting lock nut. So I need to cut those off, but there's no room to cut them, so I think if we, see, I can get it to right there. Now I just need to cut these. I don't know what that's made of. It almost, I can't believe it would be stainless, but it might be. Sometimes if you kink them, they'll break. Once the tube flattens and gets not round, they'll usually start to work fatigue and break. Yeah, they're starting to break now.
They're copper.
Yeah.
They're copper on the inside anyway.
The next challenge we've got is we need a bigger hole.
That will not fit in that. Will our hole saw things work?
The problem, the challenge you have is drilling a bigger hole inside of a hole. So with a hole saw, you need a pilot hole to hold it in place while the hole saw cuts the big hole. The pilot hole is typically like a 1/4 inch bit. So when I put a hole saw in there, it's gonna walk all over the place.
So you need to find a little piece of board to put underneath to grab that will pull it up to the bottom, correct? Will that work?
I don't know what you were saying. What we need is another board on top. Like if I have a board that will butt up against here. The other thing that we could, I don't know what this is, corian? I mean, you could work it out with a skill saw probably, but that'd be rough.
Don't panic. He's reading instructions. Yay! Okay, tell us what's going on.
Well, we need to drill 1.5 inch hole to mount the new faucet. And just the other day I bought this set of Craftsman hole saws from Lowe's, and the thread on this 1.5 inch is boogered. It'll thread in backwards up into a point, but it won't thread in the way it needs to go. But I can't drill a hole without this. So we're dead in the water until we go get a hole saw the right size that will work.
It's always something.
Always something.
Is it a successful trip to Lowe's?
Yeah, they exchanged our hole saw set, and I checked that the arbor screws into all of them. So it just shocks me that these instructions don't give you a hole size. I guess they think you can figure it out, and I can. This is the washer. That should cut it out big enough to let it slide down. So the problem we have is, normally when you're drilling a hole. You have a pilot bit that goes in, and then that pilot bit holds the drill centered. If we just try to drill here, that's going to catch and start walking and bouncing around and all that. So what we're going to try to do is drill a hole through here, and then we can hold this up, and the hole that we have drilled here should, we'll be down like this. It should hold this in place and let it go ahead and drill correctly. What is this stuff called?
Corian.
Isn't it corian?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So yeah, so it should drill pretty well with these. These are for wood, metal, steel. So now all I got to do is I got to get this hole drilled in the right place. And once we get that hole in there, we should be able to hold this down. Normally you would screw this down or some way to hold this firmly, but I think with this big of a board we can hold it in place and get a hole through there. What I've got to do now is mark this so I drill the hole in the right place. So to do that, I've got to get up from the bottom and mark it with a pencil. I tell you what, get the Sharpie ready. That might make a better mark than this pencil.
He's got his mark on his board now.
So I can try to find the center. That's pretty close to the center. That's where I should drill. You realize this is all just theory at this point, right?
Of course.
We have a hole now. Now, if we position this right there and hold it, this should keep our hole saw from walking. Do you want to try to drill it? Let me hold it?
No, I can hold it from over there.
That looks good to me. Now we're hitting the steel.
Something's hot.
Yep.
It's smoking.
I don't think I need that anymore. This bit ain't. It's not cutting that stainless.
That surprise you?
It's almost through on one side. Well, it gets hot.
Yeah. We need to spritz something on it to cool it off.
You know, once stainless cools, it'll be hard as all get out.
Oh.
It gets harder. That's not cutting anymore. So normally when we do a project, it takes me, I think we figured on average 3 trips to Home Depot or Lowe's. I went to Harbor Freight, so that trip doesn't really count. I've only been twice, so I haven't been 3 times yet. But what I was able to find is Harbor Freight was these drill bits supposedly have cobalt teeth, and they specifically say they're for cutting stainless steel. Well, stainless steel is one of the materials that's listed that they're for. So we will see. We will see. You know, these projects that I say are going to be fairly simple, straightforward, a few hours. We're on our, I think, 4 or 5.5, I'm not sure. And we're still trying to cut a hole.
It'll go quick after this.
Maybe.
Sounds good. That's what I was going to say. It sounds different. Not smoking yet.
Looks like it's cutting. Yeah, almost.
Got a barb.
Yep. We've got a hole. We've got also a place to cut my stuff. But we're through. That's good news. Stainless steel is great till you have to work with it.
Now what you didn't tell everybody is why are we cutting through stainless steel?
Because the edge of the sink goes out to about here, where it's mounted underneath the cabinet. And that's where the hole was. We have to go back in the same place unless you want a second hole in your countertop.
Here comes the other two. It is seated. Okay. Silicone on this washer. Correct?
Yeah, that won't hurt anything. It makes them last longer. This is really not a water seal. It's more of a soft seal.
Okay, I just put a little bit on there. Okay, so we've got the brass ring. There's that. I gotta find you a screwdriver.
So now I need you to hold that up. I love this thing. This is the most handy thing in the world. So it works. Hot, cold.
No, cold's forward.
Well, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is, you got a lot more room down here. That should be a lot handier. It is easier to clean the sink out rather than going.
How's that again?
You turn the water on and you go, you try to splash it against the side of the sink.
Talk about splashing.
Now you can just go.
Now you can just spritz it.
It was a shorty request.
It was. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Hi. Still working on the replumb. And I thought we'd be moving on, but Shorty decided we needed a new faucet in the pit. So, this is what we've got. The problem is, or the challenge is, that's the only access hole we have. That in itself would not be a problem, except that there's a stem going straight down, and that's where the supply tubes run. But on the bottom of that stem is a nut. You can't get to the nut to loosen it because you've got this basin right here that keeps you from getting a wrench on it perpendicular like you normally would. And you've got walls on both sides. So there's really no way to get a normal wrench on there. We bought a tool that goes up from the bottom that catches nuts, but it didn't work. It's not the right size. So now what we're trying is what they call a basin wrench. What's different about the basin wrench is it pivots 180 degrees. Right, so it's coming straight down, so you can turn it like this. This is spring loaded, so if we can get this over the nut, it will clamp down, and then you can twist from down below. That's how you get up behind something that you can't access perpendicular. Normally you'd put a wrench on it and work this way. Now we're coming up from the bottom and hopefully be able to hold that nut and get that loose. In the event that that fails, I guess we always have a sawzall. You just cut it off. Let's see if we can make this work. Shorty, I'm gonna need some help. We got the nut off. Now we have to break the copper because the nut won't come all the way off. The nut just fell all the way off.
Mm-hmm. And that one is too.
Okay. So that's the threads, the stem back there that we couldn't get to get it off. But I was like so close to just giving up on that basin wrench, and then we got lucky and we're able to get on it. Very lucky. Okay, I'll dig the rest of that stuff out of there.
Faucet has seen better days.
It was working just fine. Just ugly. There's that net we were trying to get a hold of. This is the first tool we bought that we thought would work, but it's,
Little.
I guess these old things, this is probably for newer plumbing hardware.
Although it says it fits that size.
It says it fits everything. There's 1, 2, why is there 3 hoses?
A drain hose?
You know what?
You cut through the drain hose?
I didn't cut. Came undone.
Huh.
That's it. I wonder how long that's been undone.
Well, who knows? Did a lot of toothpaste spit in our bilge.
That's very interesting. That's awfully small for a drain, but I don't find any other part of the fitting.
Okay, tell us about this adventure.
Well, we couldn't there wasn't enough room there to get the old drain out because the adapter that hooks onto the hose broke. So we couldn't get in there to get a wrench on it. We couldn't cut it because it was stainless steel. So we ended up cutting an extra hole out. That was so we could get a wrench on the nut to hold it. And it was all day yesterday.
Well, yeah, from noon.
Yeah, and part of today. Multiple trips to the store to try to find a tool that would work. But we got it out and putting the new one in, putting the new one in and getting ready to do the final hookups on it.
Ta-da! Looks so much better. I know it's a trivial thing, but there's just something about brushing your teeth every night and every morning, looking at something like this. I would much rather look at this.
Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and ring the little bell. Bottoms up! Thanks for watching.